Hello everybody and welcome. I'm the grounded Glasgow favorite Iron Holland Poke of this channel, and I want to welcome you to the battle of the Alola International in our week 6, where we take on the Holland Flareons, coached by Hammer Time Stone. I'm your coach, the grounded Glasgow, of the team that is the Low Land Nidoqueens, and this is the team you see in front of you, which we used for in the team builder also, which also went up today. So be sure to check that out. Link will down below as well. As you see, my opponent brings the Tapu Bulu, Reuniclus, Registeel, Skarmory, Infernape, and Hydreigon. And as you see, we have the Rotom, which is Scarf Trick. We have a Life Orb Nidoqueen. We have a Choice Band of Regirock, Bulky Shaman, Cleric, Blissey, and Mega Blastoise, of course. Looking towards his team, I actually thought that it was kind of odd. But he didn't bring, of course, his Mega Gyarados, of course. But actually, with the if he didn't bring his Mega Gyarados, it will leave some pressure off of Shaman, so we could use it fully against the Tapu Bulu as well, paired with the Rotom. He have, of course, as the Skarmory as well, so Nidoqueen is going to do a grazing right here. For Infernape, I probably would say that we have Regirock right here. For Hydreigon, we have Blissey. And we have Blastoise potentially to take on Reuniclus and Registeel as well. So, as you see right here, we actually managed to open up with the Rotom Heat right here. I decided on the Rotom Heat because it is, of course, Choice Scarf and it will outspeed everything on his team. So we open up Rotom Heat, as he is actually going to open up with Tapu Bulu. Because Tapu Bulu is a threat and I expected the potential to be a Scarf, I actually went straight for the Overheat just to get up potential KO. Because we would KO Tapu Bulu if he wasn't bulky. But he's actually going to withdraw into his Hydreigon right here to resist our Overheat right here. Which is going to do around 35%, I would say. And I don't want to stay in, of course. So after the special attack drop, I actually want to swap out towards my Blissey. Even though it was obvious, I knew that it could take any hit, so I actually went into it. As he is actually going to U-turn out of here, straight back to the Tapu Bulu. I think this was a very good play on his part because Blissey is indeed obvious, but I didn't quite get an intention of what said he would be. So Blissey gained some recovery from the grassy terrain and his leftovers as well. As I'm actually forced to swap out again because Blissey is not built to take on a Tapu Bulu in any case. So I actually decided to switch Blissey out of here and go into Shaman right here because Shaman can take any one hit that it wants to go for. Except for a Mega Horn, of course. So Tapu Bulu goes for the hammer, for the Wood Hammer, and after a calc, I noticed that this was probably a Scarf Tapu Bulu, or not an attack boosting item holding Tapu Bulu actually. It could also be a Berry, don't get me wrong, but I thought it would be Scarf. So actually he went for the Hammer Arm and we both recover some, and Shaman is still healthy enough to come in a couple more times. I was actually gonna take this opportunity right here to switch it to his Reuniclus, as I'm actually gonna predict that and I go straight out into my Rotom Heat. Rotom Heat could actually take on Reuniclus, and I wanted to actually cripple Reuniclus as soon as possible. So I went into Rotom, as he is going to predict me to actually be a trick Rotom and goes into Hydreigon. Which I first didn't even notice it would have tricked, but after I used Trick, I saw that the Hydreigon obtained a Choice Scarf and we didn't hold anything actually. Which told me that he either forget his item or that he actually was intentional not to carry an item, so I don't know. So he's actually going to click the Draco Meteor right now with him holding the Choice Scarf, and I knew that I would probably live it unless he was indeed some weird offensive one. So he actually almost takes us out right here, but I'm actually decided to trick right here again just to get the Choice Scarf back because I don't want to play around with the Scarf Hydreigon. So we get our Choice Scarf back, and actually I took this time to actually use Signal Beam. We use Signal Beam and we are almost going to be able to take him out, as he's actually going to U-turn out of here again. And it's not going to do much at all. But I don't get his play right here because now he actually is going to swap out towards his Reuniclus right here. Maybe predicting us for something, I don't know. But we're actually going to collect the Signal Beam yet again right here. As he is actually going to switch back out into his Hydreigon to actually sack it off right here. So Rotom picks up a kill right here for us. This is going to be amazing, so that's a huge threat gone, which maybe Blissey could have dealt with. So Hydreigon faints as Rotom is still living on the field, and he goes into Harambe, his Infernape. Right here Infernape comes in, so I actually decided to go into my Regirock and potentially threaten it with a Stone Edge or an Earthquake. So we switch in our Regirock, as he's actually going to go for the Stealth Rocks right here. So I didn't get an intel on what set he would be, so I just would straight up go for the Stone Edge because we would KO him at this point. So actually gonna click Stone Edge, and as he's gonna swap the Skarmory, and unfortunately we are gonna miss our Stone Edge. So I don't want to stay in because we're not gonna do enough damage towards him. So actually gonna swap out into the Blastoise, predicting him to maybe set up a Spike or something. But actually Skarmory is gonna take the opportunity here to use an Iron Head, which is of course resisted by our Mega Blastoise. As Blastoise is gonna take that fine actually. So I decided here to Mega Evolve on his swap to Registeel right here, and I don't get the point why he would swap to Registeel. But we are gonna Mega Evolve right here, and I'm gonna take the opportunity right here to spin away these hazards, because it didn't matter if Skarmory would have whirlwinded me out or something, but I wanted to get rid of these hazards. So I Rapid Spin here, as we are gonna do 1 damage actually to the Registeel, but we do get our rocks off the field. Also, we do notice that Registeel right here has the it has the leftovers, of course, to regain some health. But I actually want to see what kind of base Registeel would be. So actually click the Aura Sphere right here. And we're not going to do that great of an amount. We're doing 52%. We're doing 49% right now. So it's almost a 2-shot. And he clicked Iron Head on us, which I thought was very weird actually. So he regained some more health with the leftovers, as I actually want to go for another Aura Sphere. But I actually, on the other hand, I decided to swap out into my Gibson, my Rotom, predicting that he would swap out towards his Reuniclus to take the potential Aura Sphere. So Reuniclus comes indeed in as I predicted correctly, and now I knew that he probably would go to a Mon to take advantage of the trick. So he actually goes into the Infernape, and I'm actually going to click the Volt Switch, predicting that he would swap into something that would want a Choice Scarf. So we're going to do 49% to him as well, and I thought it would be a Sash Infernape, so we actually go straight out into my Regirock. As he's actually going to switch out again his Infernape and goes into the Registeel this time, as I'm going to click Stone Edge again. Luckily enough, we do connect now, and we are going to do a tremendous amount to him. Which Registeel is of course going to stay in on us, because he can take our moves on and he can Iron Head us back. So actually swap out the Regirock right here, and we go towards the Blastoise right here, because we could take any hit from him he wanted to throw at us. So Registeel goes again for the Iron Head, which we of course resist and didn't want to take more damage than that. So Registeel recovers again some bit more, and we are going to click the Aura Sphere, because I thought it would be the best play to not play around with the Registeel any longer. So I click Registeel, and I thought that the Aura Sphere would actually KO, as we actually do, and now we're going to pick up the kill on the Registeel as well. So Registeel is going to faint right here, as he is actually going to go to Tapu Bulu now, which was a good play. So Aggressive Surge activates of course, and of course I do not want to stay in with Zeratin right here. So I swap Blastoise out towards Shaymin, because Shaymin was designed to take on Tapu Bulu any day of the week. And I knew that he wouldn't risk a Mega Horn versus Blastoise, because we could have KO'd him back. So actually goes for the Wood Hammer, which is going to do a huge amount actually, more than the first time. But luckily enough we have Grassy Terrain, and we have the leftovers as well. And if we need it, we have also Synthesis on the set. So we cover some health, and we get around 120 HP or something after the leftovers. So I was comfortable enough to actually stay in. And take this opportunity for Shaymin to use actually Air Slash on this Tapu Bulu. Tapu Bulu outspeeds and goes for the Wood Hammer again, and I don't really get why he would stay in. Probably to eventually take us out. But he is doing around 70 damage at the moment, but I thought that it would be good to actually Air Slash again and do a good amount to the Tapu Bulu for later, so that something else could pick it off. Right here we gain some more recovery, and I was praying after it was recovering from leftovers and Grassy Terrain that would actually get above 70 damage. Which we do, we get to 74 HP right here, which is enough for me. As he's actually going to click a Wood Hammer the third time now. With Wood Hammer the third time we live on 5 HP luckily enough. And we are able to use Synthesis to recover ourselves up. It's not boosted by Grassy Terrain or by the Sun, because we don't have Sun right now, but we get a good amount of HP back. We are back at green health again, as he is almost dead right here, due to the Grassy Terrain. And we get of course leftovers and Grassy Terrain back again. So we recover a little bit more, as Tapu Bulu actually wants to swap out this turn. He is actually going to swap his Tapu Bulu out towards his Reuniclus, probably to take us on in a better fashion than Tapu Bulu would, because he didn't want to sack it off. I'm actually going to click the Giga Drain, because if he would swap or stay in, we would gain some more recovery. So we could take on Tapu Bulu a bit later. So we are around 170 HP as Reuniclus indeed comes in. And I didn't really know what to do. So I actually took this opportunity for Gibson to actually Go into the Reuniclus. If he wouldn't attack, I could have at least tricked him. If he would attack, Rotom was a sec right here. It didn't really matter to me what would happen. But he actually indeed goes for the Psychic, and Rotom is gonna faint at this point. Since we have a free swap right now, and Grassy Terrain disappears this time, I actually thought this would be a good time to go to Regirock and click Stone Edge, because Stone Edge would do a tremendous amount. So he's actually gonna click Stone Edge, and we miss, and he is gonna reveal the Focus Blast, and he misses as well. So that was a great turn for us. And actually take this opportunity again to click Stone Edge to do a tremendous amount, which almost is gonna KO the Reuniclus. As my opponent unfortunately is gonna miss the Focus Blast again, and I really want to take this opportunity right here to go for the Blissey right here. So to see how much damage it would do to maybe determine a set, I actually went into Blissey, and I see that he does a good amount with his Focus Blast. Reuniclus was almost dead, so I thought maybe this is a time for Blissey to also pick up a KO or Wish, but I actually want to predict him to swap out to his potential Skarmory, because it would probably be his best switching towards Blissey. As he indeed does, I'm going to make the swap to Nidoqueen right here. So he is going to now swap out his Skarmory to his Reuniclus again, and which reveals to us that he indeed is Regenerator Reuniclus. I'm going to click Flamethrower, and we would be able to pick him out, but pick him off, but it would be a roll. So I wanted to go for Sludge Wave, as he's actually going to go to the Tapu Bulu at this point. So he sets up the Grassy Surge again, and I'm going to click Sludge Wave, which means that we are going to be able to take him out. We are going to be able to take Tapu Bulu out with the Sludge Wave, which is just going to be great, and Nidoqueen just shows herself to be worthy for the team again. So Retro comes back in, which is the Reuniclus, which just got Regenerated Recovery, and I'm actually decided to swap Nidoqueen out towards Lullaby, the Blissey, because that would be the obvious swap, and so far I didn't see that he probably would have touched us. So Psychic's not going to do anything, Grassy Terrain heals us up, Leftovers heals us up, and a new Reuniclus would also regain some health from the Grassy Terrain. But at this point I really didn't care that much for it, and the reason for that is because we had other ways in the back to recover with. So he's actually going to switch out to Skarmory, which I knew, but I knew that also that I needed to wish up my Blastoise, because that would have been a huge one in the game later, because it could do good amounts to Skarmory and to Reuniclus, as well towards the, it would be good towards the Reuniclus, the Infernape, and also to the Skarmory right here. So we're actually going to go to the Reuniclus again, which is now almost at full, as I'm actually going to switch out into Blastoise to recover fully again thanks to the Wish of Blissey. So we regained the health from Blissey's Wish, and I really wanted to take this opportunity right here to spam Dark Pulse versus this Reuniclus. He didn't actually have a proper switch in right here, but I wanted to see how much Dark Pulse will do. So Blastoise collects the Dark Pulse, and we are going to do over half towards his Reuniclus. As Reuniclus wants to take this opportunity to use Psychic against us, and I also had an intention right now how much it would do. Thanks to the Grassy Terrain we get a little bit of health back, which is not that bad for us. As he is also going to get recovered by that, of course. As it disappears this turn, so that was the final time we see Grassy Surge this battle. So now he's actually going to swap out his Reuniclus towards his Harambe, which is the Infernape, as I'm going to click Dark Pulse again, because I didn't want to risk my Aura Sphere towards a Mon, which is a threat like Reuniclus. We got a crit on the Harambe unfortunately, but now I actually wanted to swap out to the Regirock, because I didn't really want to lose Blastoise to a potential Thunder Punch from the Infernape. So Infernape is actually going to take this time to actually set up Stealth Rocks again, which I thought was really weird. But this gave me a free opportunity to actually go for an attacking move again. So we now go to the Skarmory, as I am actually going to click as I'm actually going to switch out towards Elizabeth, the Blissey the Nidoqueen right here. We are gonna get damaged by the rocks, but I want to take this opportunity to actually go for the Flamethrower again, because we would KO the Infernape if it comes in. But I actually decided on Thunderbolt instead of Flamethrower, because it would hit the Infernape a bit harder than Flamethrower would, so that's why. So it takes this opportunity right here to go back into the Reuniclus, because it could KO us for straight up if it needs to. So I actually go straight up into Blissey again, which was obvious, but I knew Blissey would eat any hit that it wanted to go for. So he goes for Focus Blast, and he misses again, so there was a lot of missing hacks today with Stone Edge and Focus Blast on both our sides, which is unfortunately. But we are going to stay in, and I actually decided to wish up again to regain some more health, because I didn't want to lose a Mount to a special defense drop or a potential crit. But I actually goes for the Focus Blast again, which is going to do a tremendous amount, as we don't get much recovery back from the Grassy Surge again, or the Leftovers. Actually, I wanted to stay in to get the wish back actually, because we could have lived the move. But he actually going to go to the Skarmory, as I'm going to click protect to get the wish. So it goes to Skarmory, and I didn't quite know what Skarmory would do, but I could take this opportunity to scout, but I didn't actually want to take him to set up a free spike against me. So he's actually going to withdraw his Skarmory back out into the Reuniclus, predicting after swap out is I'm going to set free up a wish, and we are still at the same spot we were before. So I'm actually now going to switch out the Blissey, predicting him to swap out as well again, and I wanted to get Blastoise bigger health than it was. So we are Stone's Dig into the Blastoise right here, as he's just going to stay in and click Focus Blast against us. So he clicks Focus Blast, and it's going to do a tremendous amount and get us a special defense drop. Which tells me that even after the wish from Blissey, we are not able to actually stay in and 1v1 this Reuniclus pretty well. But I actually accepted the fact right here that Blastoise must KO this thing or get KO'd himself, so we get a free swap. He actually now goes for the Psychic right here, which is of course going to do a tremendous amount, and then gets another special defense drop, so nothing would have saved me right there. I didn't want to sex Zeratin still right here, and went into the Lullaby to maybe potentially get a Wish Pass off again, predicting him maybe to swap for something. So he actually goes for the Psychic right now, which is not going to do anything towards Blissey, because Blissey is just a fat blob right here, which we all know. We restore again, we restore a little health by the leftovers, and I take this opportunity to use a wish, and actually my plan right here was to pass the Blastoise. My idea to pass the Blastoise was so that I would have had enough recovery so the Blastoise could have got some kills as well. And I didn't want to risk the Nidoqueen right here because we could not OHKO it or do potential damage to it. So I actually want to switch Blissey out right here and go for the Blastoise right here. But as you see, we are not able to live after rocks with 41 HP for any move that he wanted to go for. He's going to go for the Focus Blast, and he is actually going to connect like he should, and he is going to take Blastoise out right here. Which was unfortunately for me because I didn't know what Reuniclus potential would be as an item. So I actually wanted to go into Regirock right here and take this opportunity to actually click Stone Edge. We connect the Stone Edge and we are able to KO this Reuniclus as well. There's only one left, which is of course going to be Skarmory. Is not going to be good enough to face off against our 4 monsters that we have left. So I actually want to hard swap out into Elizabeth the Nidoqueen right here. Take some Stealth Rock damage and an Iron Head. But next turn we can actually hit him 2 times in the Flamethrower or a Thunderbolt, and that would pick up the king for us. So actually click Flamethrower right now, which is going to break him down not even to Sturdy, which I was surprised about because we didn't see Sturdy pop. So probably left at 1 HP more than Sturdy, as he's also going to get leftovers recovery. It's not going to save him of course, and we're going to Flamethrower, and that is going to be the game. So good game to my friend Hammer Time Stone as well, and I want to thank you all so much for watching to this battle. This is the first time I actually used the No Lines mod from for Sun and Moon, so be sure to leave a comment down below what you think about that. And I'm your coach of the Low Land Nidoqueens, and I will see you in the next video, whatever I'm gonna make. I will see you next time, and I'm out.